All right, truth seekers. We got a good one here for you tonight. Me and my guy right here over there, Brother Yesof. But you know what we're going to be talking about what I consider crucial conversations. And he and I have been talking all week long about how everything is out there. We're talking about chaos. We're talking about all the things that's going on in life. And is it time? Of course, if I'm going to call anybody about really talking about magic, this will be the person, right? And so, and I would admit 5 years ago, you wouldn't even hear me having a conversation about magic. Why would I? Or if I did, I'm thinking about Disney World or everything else. But today we're going to get into a lot of conversation and also include the chat. So if you're watching and you got some conversations and things you want to bring into the conversation, so Brother Yesof and I will talk, then you can hear it. Now, if you don't know who it is, it's Brother Yesof with Nu Lyfe Tools. There is a link in the web description of the video if you want to go check out his website and some of the other things. But this brother right here, let me tell you, is about as real as it get, right? If you are going to have someone in your corner, someone you can talk with, someone you could definitely rely on, because oftentimes today you can't really depend on people. If you really think you got 5,000 friends on Facebook, go see how many you can borrow a cup of sugar from and see what happens, and then you'll know how many friends you really got. But other than that, I do call him a friend. He is a dear friend of mine. And, we on this journey, and I do appreciate you being here, brother. What's going on with you?
Oh, thank you for having me, my brother. Thank you for having me. I'm coming fresh off of my class I just did I called it Buddha Force 2. So we had a good
Okay.
time in there. Dropped a lot of knowledge in there, gave away some gems, and that class will be available a few weeks from now. But yeah, I'm coming fresh off of that this past weekend and feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Doing good, and I can't complain. I'm happy to be here tonight, my brother.
Well, you know what? It's my birthday today. So, it's March
Happy
10th.
birthday. Yes.
I know, right? Right. And we're going to be celebrating that birthday this Saturday. So, if all of y'all didn't know, y'all definitely need to come and check us out. We're going to be celebrating the birthday this coming Saturday. Yaya is going to be down here in Dallas. We're going to have a uncensored conversation event, and we're going to be live streaming it as well. But you're going to come up and just chill with us for after the thing, right? For the birthday party, right?
I'll be there, family. Come on through. I will be there hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Showing love. So yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, cool. All right. So we're going to be there and having a good time. And if any of y'all want to watch it live, Yaya and I's conversation, you can go to a website. It's in the link in the description, but I'll put some on the screen real quick so him and I can dive into tonight's conversation. But right here, check it out. March 14th, Dallas, Texas, live streaming as well. Go to intertruth.com and get your spot, man. And you guys going to hear some things that we don't talk about outside, but we're going to have that private live stream going, as well as, those of you who want to visit in Dallas. All right. So, man, let's get right into the conversation. And you and I was talking about a few things earlier today. And we talked about chaos and why chaos appears to be the sweetener for people these days and for the people that are putting it out there. What is it from your experience, man, when we want to talk about why is people today really, really into chaos instead of the good stuff?
Yeah, my opinion on that, man, is I've seen it so many times. And for those who don't know, I do consultations pretty much every day. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a couple of them a day. And I hear everything from all over the world. You name the country, I've talked to somebody from there. So what I've realized about people is that people are programmed to like the same things. We have been trained, in my opinion, to like suffering. We have been trained to be in survival mode. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And we've been trained to enjoy chaos. You know what I'm saying? In a weird way.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I think people like there's competition and there's healthy competition. You know what I mean?
Right.
People can look at that as chaotic, but that's, there's such thing as a healthy competition. But also, there is things that are just absolutely not true, negative and chaotic, and people seem to be drawn towards these things. Like somebody may say, hey, the world's going to end. And people would just flood that place and, oh man, it's kind of spooky and scary. How is the world going to end? You know what I mean? Instead of having hope. instead of looking for something positive. You know what I mean? People enjoy being scared. It's something to realize. They enjoy, I'll even say it, they enjoy fear. You know what I'm saying? People enjoy fear. So I would say that's what it is. You know what I mean? That's what it is, my brother. It's like, and it's a weird thing, but I think everybody can see that everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I hate horror movies, but there's some people who like they can't live without a good horror movie. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's some stuff just weird to me, brother. So I think that's the world we live in today. People just enjoy chaos. You know what I mean?
So for people to, let's just go back to the basic. What would you tell people? What is chaos? You know, because people may think chaos could be, you know, drama or in this bad relationship. But, you know, what would people actually, what would we identify as chaos?
That's a great question, man. Chaos is something that all humans have inside of them. But chaos in its most basic form, from a metaphysical perspective, chaos is primordial, the most primordial energy.
Okay.
Before there was ever creation, there was chaos. You know what I'm saying? And chaos can be looked at as, you can call it dark energy, dark matter. You know what I'm saying? Not to call this thing evil. Chaos is something that's so primordial that it needs to be transmuted through humans.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like once you come into chaos, you need to be able to transmute that mentally. Or for those who walk the other side of the light, you need to be able to transmute that energetically. But for humans on a basic level, we need to process and transmute chaos on a mental level. It's not meant to be held on to. It's too primordial. Just like creation is primordial. But you can't have creation without chaos. There has to be some form of destruction. And chaos can be looked at in so many different ways. Chaos can even be looked at as creation in some ways. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But you know, another form of that would be destruction, because before creation, you got to have something has to be destroyed. Something has to be demolished or finished. So that's kind of what's going on in the world today. We're going through a state of chaos. So don't get me wrong, it's necessary, but you don't need to hold on to it. Some people want to hold on to it, and it never gets processed correctly in their mind, and then it drives them insane. People get so chaotic in their mind, they get afraid, or they want to hurt somebody because they haven't processed the chaos. And when you understand what chaos, what chaos or this primordial energy is, then you can know what's coming next. Like some people will have you believe out there in the world it's over for us.
Okay.
Elites control everything, and we're done, y'all. There's no way out. And if you understand chaos, you understand everything has a cycle. You know what I'm saying? We just came out of we just dealt with the last Kali Yuga, and we know that goddess Kali is the goddess of destruction. You know what I'm saying? And we about to come out of this illusionary system of Maya or illusion, and we about to go to the next level with it. There's going to be no more circles. It's going to be a spiral now. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go to the next level, which is going to be the fourth dimension. And if your mind is not right, so this world has to be destroyed to create this new world that's coming, or to open the doors for it. So if your mind is not balanced, or you haven't processed the chaos correctly, and sometimes you can simply process that, family, by being prepared. I mean, some people are only afraid because they're not prepared for what's coming. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we're not ready for this process, brother. It could drive some of us crazy. So that's what chaos is. That's what chaos is.
But let's talk about deliberate chaos, though. It's like these people, in most cases, find the most eccentric way to say, you know, we're going to cause chaos on every level. And then, of course, you know me, I'm going to go take it all the way back to the loose eaters, you know, which is reptilian and all these other entities. And it's like, you know, it's dark force, you know. And again, on one hand, you just said about we're going to have destruction. I mean, if you're going to go break house and build on the ground, you got to break the ground. You got to call chaos in the dirt, right? Or I'm just using metaphorically to build the beautiful home that you're going to build and disturb something. But we're talking about deliberative stuff now, where people are just walking into situations blindly. And you know what? Let's turn it into some type of world event right now. And we don't have to get into the Epsteins. We know that it's total chaos, right? It's some point. But, you know, something that's unbeknownst to most people, but we can look at, you know, when we think about what's happening in these other countries and the names we can't really talk about as much that, you know, block everything. But it's like, it's all operating under the name of God, though, but it's chaos,
mm-hmm.
You know, and why are we missing that is what I want to know.
Well, you know, what we like I said, we have to understand what chaos really is and learn how to process it. And this is why I recommend people get into the hidden mysteries of information, which people call the occult. These people study the occult that run the world.
Yeah.
Occult means to hide.
Yeah.
You know, we've been trained to think occult means satanic worship. You know,
right.
But it actually means to hide something. So if you want to understand what's hidden, you need to study the occult. You know what I'm saying? And that way you can understand what they're doing. You can also understand, if you want to call it, God's idea of what's happening right now. In Kabbalah, there's something called the chaos that God allows, or the evil that God allows. God allows a certain level of evil. God allows certain levels of chaos. It even talks about this in the Bible, where he would send the angel of death to kill all the firstborn. You know, where he would send floods, and he would send this, and we don't have to say it. You know, you drop the Ark of the Covenant, you're dead. All these things that God didn't play. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's a certain level of chaos that God allows according to his plan, right? So in Kabbalah, they talk about the evil that God allows, and this evil that God allows is meant to test us and to push out the weak-minded. And for those who pass the test, they get to achieve the next, what you want to call it, heaven on earth or whatever it is. So we must understand now there's certain evils in this world that God allows to happen. You know what I mean? God allows to happen. That's according to his plan. Some things that the dark forces set on this earth, they have to be chaos. You know what I'm saying? They have to be destroyed. Chaos has to hit these things, you know? And this is why now you're hearing so much stuff being exposed. You got stuff happening that's never happened before. Princes going to jail, and you know what I'm saying? And presidents being told to come to Congress, and you know what I'm saying? And all this crazy stuff happened. And not to say that there's any good person, but it's a time for things to be revealed. It's a time for things to be hidden. They said this guy, this guy who was in the cartel, who was running the cartel, they said this guy was selling body parts for the elites. And some of these people was right in Congress, allegedly. Man. You know what I'm saying? They selling bottles of blood and body parts to these people, apparently not U.S. guy. And what did Vladimir Putin just come out and say? The people who run America are eating people.
Yeah,
so we have to think about all this, you know what I mean, and understand why now. Why is it finally coming out? All this stuff now, because things are changing. The financial system is changing. The political system is changing. You know what I'm saying? The way that humans look at the world is changing. The job market is getting ready to change. 5-6 years from now, ain't nobody gonna be working. I think we all know that right now. For all of us, you know, people who've been paying attention.
They're trying to do it. They're trying to move it to where they're just gonna provide money for people, and some people may look at that like, oh, that's perfect, but then they can just dictate what you want and buy, or whatever you're doing. But I'm sure at some point there will be some type of backhand currency. It has to be, right? Because
absolutely, you know, they're definitely, and that's why I'm telling people now to get into cryptocurrency, because when this stuff hits a certain amount of money, after all this chaos gets out the way, some people are going to be a part of the new elites. They're going to be part of the new. They're going to have generational wealth for their families. You know what I mean? Because they got in early, just like the people who came to America and they was buying slaves early, or they got into the stock market. They was buying railroad stocks, and they got into the stock market super early. Those families became wealthy.
Yeah.
Well, now there's a chance under heaven for the regular human, the regular person, to have wealth, to build generational wealth for their families, if only they see what's going on and take advantage of it for pennies on the dollar. You know, man, I regret not buying Bitcoin when I was a kid. You know what I mean? When I first saw it. I remember y'all when Bitcoin's $500.
Yeah. So look, I don't know
$300 when I first got it.
I was trading and buying.
Don't
Bitcoin.
Say it, brother. Don't say it.
It was $20, $30. And I was buying it for kids because for the video games back in the day, it was a nickel for my daughters. Back in the day, you can buy for video games and stuff. But yeah, there was one point that I probably had 30, 50, at least 100 Bitcoins when we were doing a company. This was some years back. I can show you on my trade wallet here. I was moving that stuff left and right, and then we forget it because it dropped like, and boy, today it would have been a whole different story.
Man, talking about people are multimillionaires. I had a chance to get in early on Dogecoin, and I not understanding crypto early. I let it slide. I could have had thousands of Dogecoins, hundreds of thousands of Dogecoins, and I let it go. So when I saw Dogecoin go up, when it was under a penny, I was like, "You got to be joking me, man! You got to be joking me." You know what I'm saying? But it's all I'm saying. Now is an opportunity, and we're going to see people. So when you're still going to have to, you're only going to. I want to be people to understand. The government's going to give you the bare minimum to take care of your bills when they give you the so-called universal high income or universal basic income.
Yep.
Everything else you want to take your family on a trip, you want to go to a nice restaurant, you're going to have to come up with some other money. And this is why I'm telling you guys the arts and the cultures are coming back. For those who paint, the poets, stuff like that, stuff that was considered valuable 1,000, 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, a poet was like a superstar back in the day. An artist. Today, nobody really, so these things are coming back because people have to get back into their crafts. You know what I'm saying? So after all the chaos is done, y'all, creation is going to happen, and we got to be ready for it.
Yeah. Now I was watching a podcast recently, and the lady was talking about just the opposite. Now I've heard this through a lot of my government connections too, and this is just me talking, having a crucial conversation here, that they were talking about crypto and how when people find out who's really and what's behind it, that it may be a problem, Now, one of the things they kept talking about is if they can move people to a digital society, then now they can control where you spend your money, what neighborhood you spend your money, turn your money off if they want to. And it's really about total control. Now, we're talking about chaos for real. Now, this lady was on Tucker Carlson the other night. I forget her name. Y'all can look her up. She's also was the author of, I forget this book, and it was talking about money and how the CIA, it was talking about prison systems and saying how the prison systems, as we all know, is connected to the financial part, and that how they were changing rules and laws in areas to where they were eliminating public defenders, especially in African-American communities, which then made those guys cop plea deals, which then sent them to prison to keep the prisons full, because they had no legal representation. But anyway, she said that it was important that we need to keep lobbying for cash. Now, we already know cash is on the side of the Rockefellers. Our Federal Reserve System is a privately owned company, so people privately own our money. And so I would think there will be a huge fight on both sides of that realm of saying, wait a minute, we can print money like we want to, or we're going to go to this money where they can control, they can monitor it, they can cut it off, they can dictate things. So that's some chaos. And I think there's a fight above us that we are the prize, and they're up there fighting for who's going to control the humans, so to speak, or the world. So,
yeah, and I definitely understand that. And my philosophy is I'm more pro crypto, because crypto also gives you the opportunity to create your own currency. That's something I've already done. I just haven't launched it yet. My tribe literally has their own currency. You know what I'm saying? That's backed by copper. You know what I'm saying? And I can, every time you come to my website, if I wanted to, I can make you exchange that and start creating value.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just still in the study stage of it. But this is one of the things that once you create your own crypto, can't nobody turn it off. You know what I'm saying? What's on the blockchain. But even with that being said, let's say that we couldn't create our own crypto. What are some other things we can do? Well, we got to understand, I'm still against cash because cash is paper, it's toilet paper. You know what I'm saying? It's not backed by gold or silver anymore. Right. So that means that these people are always going to control cash. But this is why I also tell people that they should have been buying silver for years.
Yeah.
You know, buying the silver and having some type of. So what I'm really saying is, in the future, no matter what happens, if you own some type of asset or some type of resource, it's going to bring you value, and you won't have to really depend, you know what I'm saying, on the government for certain things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we're going back to, y'all. We're going back to community. You're going to have to barter and trade, and you know what I'm saying? We're going back to a way of life that some people don't understand. So, and those who've been following me for years, I'm not saying I know everything at all, but those who've been following me for years, I ain't been wrong yet. And I'm trying to tell y'all, start understanding what community means. Start still buy your copper, because copper about to skyrocket too. Copper, silver, gold, and get you some land and have these assets as the world changes. And you know, and you don't worry about owning. Get you a trust and own these things so that you can create value for yourself in the future. That's what I would definitely say.
Yeah, and one of the things that is pretty interesting, and people can look this up. Not long ago, there was some years ago, that the cartels decided to create their own currency that they wouldn't go to jail for. And people can look it up. They started using Tide, you know, the dishwashing liquid. That's why back years ago, if you start noticing, it was coming up missing in the stores, and people were like, what? And not this fake stuff that you can go buy now, thinking you're buying a big giant bag of Tide. When you wash your clothes, it don't even get a speck of dirt out, you know. But what they did was, and it's no different, if you decide on your tribal land that you are going to create your own currency, you can turn around and say, okay, y'all, we're going to take that particular tree, and the leaves of that tree is money, you know. And what they did was, so they start all accepting Tide as value, so they can go buy a car with Tide. Then the other person could go take that Tide and buy something from someone else. So they created their own ecosystem, still was able to somehow trade wealth around, but yet couldn't get caught for tax evasion because it wasn't money. At some point. And it was just something they was trying, and people can Google it. It was going on for years. And it was a higher alert on that. This was some years back, but just think about it, you know, from seashells, even our people back in the day, trading, bartering, you know, wherever that currency come from, people can begin to do that. So, yeah, all right. So let's go into, without making names and everything else, you know, what are your thoughts on, and what we're going to do is just call I is the country that we know we're going to talk, because you can't really say that name online. People don't know that, but they block it all. And then you got, well, no, it's two I's. So we're going to do L for the ones who's got us, our country by the nose. Well, you know what? Let's bag up from that one too. All over social media right now, there's people crying that they're stuck in Dubai.
Right. Oh yeah.
They're stuck in Dubai. One lady was like, I'm an American citizen. And I'm like, who's listening to that? You know what I'm saying? And what do you think about all of that that's going on? And people now stuck in other countries. Now, luckily, Dubai's head said, hey, we'll pay for everything for now. But at this point, you know, just the volunteer, and now, of course, if you get stuck over there, you might be a millionaire doing some stuff that they like, hey, we just gonna throw some crap on your face, you know, whatever.
Exactly.
But what are your thoughts on that too, and how this thing is pushed everywhere, you know, this chaos?
You know what, brother? I realized that people don't watch the news. There's something I realized. And, you know, some people think they're spiritual because they don't watch the news. You know what I'm saying?
That was the whole point of us doing our community stuff. I kept telling people, you got to watch the conspiracy. You got to keep up with it. And they're like, oh, I don't do that no more. I'm like, no, you're going to miss the new upgraded stuff that they do to you.
Right. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you why most people don't watch the news, because they don't have a plan for nothing. They're not planning anything, and they just living life. And there's nothing wrong with living life. We all should live life. But if you have children, if you have nephews or nieces, even if you got a mother, anything, you don't know if there's a serial killer running around your neighborhood.
Yep.
You don't know. You gotta watch the news and see what's going on. So it's how a lot of these people totally ignore the fact that let's say Izzy, that country, you know what I'm saying, is over there having an issue, and they about to team up and go over to this country. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is like, people don't know that because they don't watch the news. They just hop on airplanes and go, and everything is fine in the world, baby. You know what I'm saying? And not paying attention to what's happening in the world they live in. That's because they don't value the world they live in. If you value the world you live in, you're gonna watch the news, because you need to understand what chess moves to make. That's why I know what chess moves to make, because I watch and see what they're doing, even though I know it's not all 100%.
Yep.
But it's still happening.
Yep.
Even if I believe, okay, you know, that's a trick. Okay, I know what chess move to make. I gotta make chess moves. I'm responsible for a community. I got children. I got a wife. I gotta make chess moves. So I can't just sit here and never watch the news and ignore the world I live in. So these people are doing stuff that we hearing about, and now everybody's scared and they stuck in Dubai when you shouldn't have been traveling.
Yeah, and you know, not funny, I'm sorry, but the ironic part of this is that one guy, he was saying, hey man, you know, it's still, you know, people walking around. Now one lady was from Lebanon. She told him, hey, you know, this is normal for us. But anyway, he kept saying, yeah, you know, they fired over 200 missiles, but you know, we can see them, you know, that they're knocking them out of the sky. And I'm like, dude, they got a plan to block, to eventually, and they're already saying all over the news that they're running out of these blockers, right? And that this country decided to send a lot of cheap stuff, and for every drone that they're using that's 50 grand or less, we're shooting $1 million a pop. So they're like, we're gonna see how long that lasts. Now think about it. This country is about money, 100%. Somebody is going to be a bean counter and going to say, you know what, 200,000 people dead, and us spending $2 billion on some missiles, we might well let a few get through. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't want that type of decisions to be made, and they're going to make it.
Not at all. Yeah, you don't want those type of decisions at all. And let me say this too, even with the people, the stuff that happened in Mexico, right before the so-called war started, all this stuff was happening in Mexico. And they started doing all this stuff. We know what happened. People over there stuck. Oh man, hiding in hotels and people hiding for their life. And boy, the cartel looking for them. They looking to kill them. Like, we're gonna kill some Americans today. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language. I don't want to, you know, but this is the stuff they're saying. You know what I'm saying? And why didn't you guys watch the news? I always tell my people, I'm never going over there. Unless somebody take my mama or something and I gotta go, you know, on some taking stuff. But outside of that, I'm never going. I watch the news, and I don't travel to certain places unless I do a whole astrology thing. Brother Rob, you know this about me. You know what I'm saying?
Man, let me tell you. I had a friend, brother, that we got into it a little deeper. They was planning a vacation to Mexico coming up. I think they might have been going this spring break or something with their kid. I said, dude, don't go. He was like, oh man, I'm going. I said, dude, don't go. So he walked in and like, oh, but we okay. Gave me a piece of paper and I'm reading it. It is kidnap insurance. And I'm like, really? So he's proud. Oh yeah. I'm like, so you think that this piece of paper ain't gonna get passed to somebody else said they're coming and they're gonna know exactly who to get because you got money? And you put that tag on you, and you're trying to walk around thinking you smart. You know, he's looking at me like I'm smart. You know, I got kidnapped issue. Dude, they're connected to everything. Now you and I can be side by side. They're gonna say he ain't got no kidnap insurance. He does, and I'm gonna be watching you drag off. You know, but I ain't even going. I'm gonna be watching a video.
Right.
And I'm like, people, it doesn't make sense that we will plan our vacations better than we plan our lives, and you don't think your life is worth not going.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I was like, dude,
crazy stuff, man.
All right, I got another thing. Well, this is my Aegis of Aletheia. We talked about it. This is, you know, I call it a scepter, right? And but most people probably would know exactly. So by you looking at this, if you saw me with this, what would you then know about this individual carrying this?
You asking me?
Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
I'm walking in the room and I'm holding this in my hand, and you know what you know. What would you then say about that individual?
Me personally, I gotta start. I'm gonna turn on my psychic abilities. I gotta read you immediately.
Gotcha.
See if you really about that life immediately when I see that, because when I see that, brother, that's an authoritative weapon right there. You know what I'm saying? That's an energetic weapon right there for those who know how to use it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's a lot of things to say. It's almost like if you part of a secret order and you see somebody doing certain things, it's like, let me see if that person really doing that or they know. Right. So if I saw a person with that, I'm automatically going to think, okay, this person has an energy weapon on them or energy tool. Let's call it energy tool.
Okay.
And I need to understand if they really know how to use that or not. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, man. And you'll be surprised, this has a lot of symbolic things, yes, it's not only just an energy weapon, but it has a lot. But especially in the world that we're in, where we're talking about energetic beings and all these different things that's around us, and this is where that word magic comes in, right? When we start thinking about it, but to most, this is my scepter, this is my ruler, Roderick, if you go look up the name Roderick, it's a German ruler or whatever. However, it is disguised as a weapon, and not disguised. It is a scepter, but a weapon, right? So how important for the people who wouldn't look at something like this, would you say now, because I'm sure with your talents and information that you probably possess a few, I don't know. But at the end of the day, why would somebody do that?
Why would somebody carry a wand?
Yeah.
There's beef in the spiritual streets. You know what I'm saying? Or they're trying to keep away certain energies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons why somebody will carry one.
Yeah.
A lot of people carry them daily. They just hide them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things are wands that people don't know. A lot of things are wands that people don't know that they can keep right in their pocket.
Yep.
But I personally would carry one if I feel like I'm going somewhere where I'm gonna need it. But usually for ritualistic purposes, I would carry one.
Yeah.
It's very rare I would need one in the physical world unless I'm dealing with an actual magician physically. I feel like I would need to protect myself. But if I need to block against some like draconian negative forces, some negative ET forces, some negative ghost forces, I would carry a wand without a shadow of a doubt. But when it comes to real beef and against real magicians, the war is always fought in the astral plane.
Yeah.
You never see it fought down here. We fight up there, and it affects people down here in the physical realm.
Yeah. I have one that's for the throat chakra, especially when I go into meetings, business meetings, to make sure that everything verbally and intuitively is said and heard, especially when I'm negotiating and making sure. But yeah, ever since I went down this journey, and most of people know, I've started to look more into the reptilian stuff, and once that discovery was made, even now, I have my own, shadow of deception guidebook. This is 54 archetypes of reptilian archetypes, but that are found in us so that we can recognize it. I even have my own, reptilian shadow solar plex protection guide, and shadow working, as they can see the reptilian. So I'm into, as one of my topics of favorites in discovery, to explore more about the reptilian origins of us, and then as well as a best-selling book now that people can go on Amazon and get, The Unspeakable Truth, and it's how fake history and Christianity has robbed African Americans of our UFO revelation. So I'm knee deep into that, and when I made the discovery, it ain't just aliens. It ain't just this other dimensions. It's huge. And so that changes the whole game plan and everything from there. So, yeah, what do you got?
Yes. This is a book that I have. It's on my website, The Way of Radiance.
Okay.
It's a book I wrote.
Oh, yeah, I got that. You gave me that when we first met. Yeah, I read it. Great book. Yeah.
So. Sir. Yes, sir. And I go into here about what I call half-blooded demons. There's another code name for them. And there's gray half-blooded demons. There are also draconian half-blooded demons.
Okay.
And I'm gonna talk. This is gonna go into AI in a second. Because I want to talk about AI, and I talk about the Anunnaki half-bloods, and all this goes into something I think that's getting ready to happen on the planet, dealing with AI. And notice now how we're already. I'm telling you, y'all, it's crazy. We got to watch things because we're already being programmed to say, "Oh, that's AI." Something could be 100% real. Somebody could really see a draconian one day.
Yep. Real
Draco reptilian, and somebody's going to already train to say that's AI. It's not real because AI is getting so to the point where you can't tell it from something that's fake. So I believe they're going to use AI to shield things that's really happening on the planet. There could be an invasion of reptilians on a small city somewhere, and people recording it, but nobody believes it.
Yeah,
everybody's like, "Oh, that's AI." And I'm like, do people hear themselves? Everything is AI now.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, go ahead.
When even 10, 20 years ago, people had videos of UFOs, ETs, different type of cryptids, fairies, all kind of stuff that people can't explain, Bigfoot, stuff that people can't explain that they really caught on camera. We could believe that, but all of a sudden after 2026, none of that exists no more. Everything is AI.
Yeah,
we got to be careful, you guys, because I believe right now a lot is going to be revealed, especially with ETs and spirits. And when people record it, nobody's going to believe it because you're already being programmed by AI to believe everything is fake. You see how they're getting us? They're getting us like that. Even the spiritual people, all that's AI. There's some stuff I've seen that people say was AI that's very questionable.
Yeah.
Very questionable. So
yeah, and you got to think about what you're saying. I remember on another deep governmental show, they start talking about in Silicon Valley that all of the tech giant heads, the leaders of these, Elon, all of these, they all were summoning a Pacific demon. All of them were summoning the same one, who were working with them through AI. And the whole thing was AI want a body. I mean, not AI, but the demon want a body, and just through AI to get to that, the conversions of transhumanism, because if they can transhuman it or put that into the human, and then the demon is functioning through the AI, it now walks right here, right? Now, I don't know what that does for everybody who's carrying a demon around them. Do you now get kicked to the curb and now they cash in on your soul? You know what I'm saying? But, now that he got his two legs, or whatever, but it is real. Now, that was one of the main things that promoted me to, or not promoted, but led me to start doing community, more touch and feel events, because I felt that at some point they can start putting all these AI things out here, replacing people. And if some of these YouTubers who, unlike yourself and myself, we do live events, we talk, we touch and feel, but some of these people, they just stay virtual. And it's going to be real easy for them to be replaced. And then the messaging slowly begins to change. And the watcher won't even know it because it's all digitized. Now it's convenient, but it's digitized. So I've always been encouraging people to get around. And we're probably done had, a bunch of community events. And the attendance change. Some come, some do, some don't. And I now look back on the ones who are consistent, that's been at every one of them, their growth, their awareness, how they see the world. And then some who come, don't go. And some of them don't think it's that important, or maybe they got something else to do. But that's another thing. I tell people, if it's hard for you to make it to a place that is going to awaken you or going to give you a better sense of what's going on. Don't you think that entity that's in your head got a front row seat to your thought and is going to give you thoughts not to be there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And they don't see it coming, or just little things can deter them or whatever. And the biggest thing could be $5. I can turn around and say it's $5 to show, and their whole awareness shift, and it's just, and I look at it now, and it's why I do carry protection, because I know it exists. I know It's happening in real time. And I'm not a preacher. I'm not going to be sitting here trying to preach, to the thing, but I know a lot of people's in pain. And I always say, if the pain of change outweigh the pain of remaining the same, will they change? And most people won't.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to go on to something you talked about, how this AI is jumping in, they're using the demons to deal with the AI. And it's a reason why I didn't just make this word up, y'all, when I call these beings half-bloods, right? The reason why I call them half-bloods is because they're half demonic, right? And the reason why I say that is because when you study demonology and get into the left-hand path, the Caliphotic, what they call the tree of death, tree of knowledge and good and evil in the Bible, also called the tree of death, right? When you get into this realm, these are what you call the OG demons. You can also call them the Titans, whatever you want to call them.
Yep.
This is their world. They were here first. Let's get that clear. Before the demiurge built the world, they were here first. These demonic forces and the jinns, if you want to be
that's fair, another name for them.
The jinns were here as well, but these demonic forces were here. Now, it's funny because in the Caliphotic science, they call these beings they have an area called the land of shells. You guys can research this. The land of shells are the demonic forces from the Caliphoth that want to live in a body, but they can't. Can't live in a body. So what they do is they possess and work with certain extraterrestrial groups and possess these beings, and these beings become like a vessel for them. That's why I call them half-blooded demons. This ain't no fun. I'm making up comic book words. Telling y'all some real occult stuff. There's really extraterrestrials that are half demonic. They ain't just, because you got some reptilians that are actually good. There's some reptilian species that actually don't want to hurt humans. We know this for a fact. There's some reptilian.
Check that for me. Check that. Make sure if I got your IG spelled right. Somebody's been asking for our stuff. So if not, I can change it.
My IG is kind of tricky because people actually steal my. I have a lot of it? Let me put it up on the camera so people can see it.
Okay, then I'm gonna type it here. I'm gonna type it up here. NU _life
tools.
Oh.
NU _life _LYFE _tools. Okay. It should say 19,000 followers.
All right. So I'm putting it on the screen now. So let's see if it oh, well, hang on. I know.
And then my TikTok is Bro Yesof 0.
Is that it right there on the screen now?
Let's see here. Yes, sir. That's it right there.
Okay. So I'll leave it up there for a minute. All right. So there we go.
Follow me on Bro Yesof 0. And that's on TikTok. So, and this is important because a lot of people don't want to deal with the spiritual aspect of things. You know, I know people that well, I ain't gonna get into that, but some people don't want to deal with the spiritual aspect of things. I don't care whether you like it or not. It's the reason why these people rule, because they're dealing with spiritual stuff. Some people want to stay stuck on the physical realm. Can't fight these people. Some of y'all some people believe in Jesus, believe in the Bible, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, y'all, these people, they do what they do because they have spiritual power.
Yep.
You don't. Just because something is spiritual outside of the Bible or the Quran doesn't mean it's evil. It's a fact. So I'm just trying to take y'all mind there if y'all let me. I'm telling you some truth about demons. Some of y'all never studied demonology. I'm telling y'all a person who studied it, and I understand it. I'm telling you, there's an area called the land of shells. And there's demons. You can call them, these are Caliphotic, right? Caliphotic beings. They deal with the Caliphoth. And they want a body. So when he said what he said, and I don't think I ever talked to him this deep about the Caliph or anything like that, but when he said what he said, that made me think automatically that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring up a Caliphatic being and give it a body. Now, some of them may get a body through a robot.
Yep.
You know, they may get a robotic body and live in through that and trap your consciousness inside of AI. There's a movie everybody gotta watch. It's called I forgot the name of this movie, man. But it's a great movie. But at the end of the day, that's what they want to do. They want to get humans into transhumanism, which is becoming a religion, by the way, if y'all don't know that. The transhumanism religion, and they want you to worship robots and merge yourself with a robot so you can live forever. And you will, but you'll live inside of AI.
Yep.
And there's documentaries on this stuff. If you don't believe me, you can go right to YouTube and type in transhumanism religion. There's a whole religion for it. So I'm trying to tell y'all why these demons are popping up on the internet. These are the Caliphatic beings trying to get a body. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I know. Again, you know, we talk about it, and that's one of the reasons. And for those of you who are watching right now, let me put some on the screen for you real quick so that you're kind of know. If you all know this young lady, Yaya's World, you've probably seen her on, you've probably seen her on Instagram. So y'all know she go deep. She does a lot of decoding. She's going to be here in Dallas in 3 days. We're going to have a live event, which we're going to live stream a very deep, uncensored conversation that we don't have online. You might hear some cuss words, so I'll make sure your kids are not listening. You know, you're going to hear some real sugar honey iced tea. But if you want to watch online, that Saturday, we're going to be there from 3 to 7. You're welcome to get your ticket. If you're in Dallas, then you definitely want to come, because right after that event, in this space that we're in, it's got a big event center. We're going to have my first birthday party. And, you know, we're going to chill out, and you're welcome to just enjoy the birthday party. Got a DJ coming up and everything else. Brother Yesof is going to be coming up. A lot of people coming in. So you get to meet some people. But again, if you're going to watch it live, we're going to deliberately, because we have to, take the live option down Thursday, because we're sending out private links. And sending out private links. We don't want to be at the last minute, people trying to buy tickets that day of, and then nobody's around trying to send them their email link. So Thursday is the last day to watch it live. And it's very, you know, a good price for any of you to do that. It's worth it for what you're going to hear and learn and everything. And you're going to hear some conversation. So I encourage you, there is a link in the description. But again, it'll come down Thursday. So in 2 days, you won't be able to watch it live. But if you're in Dallas, you want to come on up, chill out with us. It's going to be worth it from there. Brother, you know, we're going to leave at the top of the hour. So that's about 10 or 15, 12 minutes here. Let's get into a little bit of, once again, things that are just happening in real time in our faces. And like I said, we talked about earlier, if anyone just jumped in on us, about how it's a possibility. I saw a chat, a question. In fact, you know what we'll do too? If y'all got any questions y'all want to ask Brother Yesof or myself, you know, put a Q in front of your comment so I know that's a question. I'll put it up on the screen, and we'll do a little Q&A for this last 12 minutes as well. While I'm speaking, y'all can go ahead and do that. But you have to put Q so I'll know to put it on the screen for us to answer. But real quickly though, again, we're looking at where this world is heading. We talked about universal income. In fact, Andrew Yang ran on that philosophy a couple of presidential campaigns ago. They laughed at him. He was a Chinese guy, right? And this was probably about 5 or 10 years ago. And so he was like, that's what y'all should do. So it's almost like they test the water to kind of see, because they're all on the same team, you know, make no mistake about it. Yeah. And there's going to be people that's going to go for it, and there's going to be people that's not. So when we got that's happening, you got AI happening, you got crypto, you got all these different things. What is it people can do? Because I think it's to a point now, it's like, do this just comes into fruition because people can't fight back? Is it too powerful? Or is it our children we got to worry about? Because it's not going to happen overnight. Some people think it's going to wake up in the morning because they play a long game. They play generational game. So let's just say for your daughter, because you have a kid, what are you preparing her for?
Great question. Great question. And you just said something really key. You said they're playing a generational game. So am I. You know
okay, there we go.
I'm playing a generational game too. And everything I'm saying is true when I tell you guys this might be your last chance to have generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? People damned the Bitcoin to hell and said all the bad stuff about it, and people became multimillionaires off of it. Say what you want to say about it, but people became multimillionaires for those who got in. So understand that when they promote fear, it's usually a tactic to keep you away from something. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the world we live in. So my daughter, for those who don't know me, I am a chief of the Kyoto Salagi tribe, and we have a community. We're building land. We have our own water source. We're growing fruits and vegetables this year. We'll have our first person living on the land very soon. We're growing our community and building what I've been preaching for a long time. On top of that, I'm preparing on the other side, like I told you guys, trying to do my own cryptocurrency. And at the same time, we have our own language. That's right. We have our own language that we speak and we write in my tribe. So these are the things that I'm trying to do by creating my own government to govern myself. Outside of that, I'm smart enough to realize there's forces that I can't control. I can only control my world. So I'm going to do what I can do by preparing myself and not sitting back waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
2020, when everybody had to get that jabba dabba do because that virus hit, that was a warning. I did a video called All You See Is a Test, and they took the video down. I did 2 parts to it. Because when it hit the scene, I was like, this is a test. And I still say that to this day. That was a test to let you know something greater is coming. You know what I mean? Something greater is coming. People needed to prepare. You had 5 years to prepare. You got to ask yourself, what did I do with my time? You know? Also, I teach my daughter magic, spirituality. She has access to all my books. So she can grow up in the information and the not history books, everything, and the knowledge of what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I try to prepare her the best I can mentally. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things I'm doing to prepare myself. So my generations, and not just my generations, the community that we part of, those babies, those generations could have resources, somewhere they can call home, somewhere they can run to if everything hits the fan. We got our own chickens. We know we want to, but 2-3 years from now, let's say something happened by next year. I could say, hey, we got our own chickens. We got our own, I don't know, donkeys, horses.
Look, I'm raising meat rabbits at the back in my other building. So yeah,
there you go. So we, it's about having it. So I ain't got to run to the store and say, oh my God, the store's closed down. I got my own chickens. I got my own rabbits. I got my, you know what I'm saying? And the community makes it work, and we're organized. Don't get it twisted. We ain't just a bunch of people singing Kumbaya on the land. And I talked to Brother Roderick Martin a lot about it. I'm very organized. And some people couldn't handle my organization, and they had to go. It's cool. But I'm very organized of what I do because I know it's a community has to run like a community. You see what I'm saying? So there has to be order. So at the end of the day, that's what I'm doing to prepare. And I've been preaching this stuff for years. And people kept seeing the stuff I've been saying coming true, even with the silver. I said, hold on, y'all, buy it at $15. Silver is going to explode. It's going to hit $100 one day. Everybody know I've been saying that since 2018, and it done hit 100. Even though it fell a little bit, I believe it's going to hit 500 one day because it's super undervalued silver. Keep buying your silver. Buy your copper. Get you some land. And right now, I was telling people that I believe that there's a possibility that a civil war could happen. Hear me very closely. I'm not saying a civil war is going to happen. I'm saying it's a possibility that one could happen. So you need to prepare your family. Do you have emergency resources, emergency food, emergency lights? You know what I'm saying? Do you have these things to protect your family in case something bad, the grid goes down on the East Coast or the West Coast or the Texas, wherever? You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure you have these things, family. So I wanted to say that to encourage people to prepare themselves. Don't be so spiritually high, earthly good. We still got to live here. We can only fight the battle we can fight. Now, if there's evil forces in the world, common sense should tell people there's positive forces. Just because you don't see them all the time, don't mean they're not working. It's a certain reason why asteroids never hit this planet. It's a certain reason why we have the internet. We have access to information. There's certain beings on this planet that made sure we had access to information. You think the dark forces on this planet really want us to have access to the internet? Even though it's still shut down to a certain extent, it's a reason why we get to live the lives we do in peace to a certain extent. Not everybody around the world, because people are being protected to a certain extent. And right now, I promise y'all, these forces of darkness, they're being removed off the planet. But you just can't have humans tomorrow have a revolution, because we'll go nuts.
We'll duplicate the cycle, and because we're so built on chaos, we'll put it right back in place.
We'll put it exactly. We'll put ourselves right normal. Back.
Yeah,
we're crazy like that. We'll just start. Oh my God, a UFO! Let's kill each other. Let's steal from each other. That's what we would do. So you have to slowly change humans' mindset to a more better world, and I believe that's where we're going.
All right. The first question that was up that she asked was the movie Surrogates was what you were speaking about. Her name was. I had a question up at Ebony, I think, earlier. So was that the movie you were speaking of, Surrogates?
No, it's not called Seven. It's called Devs. There you go. DEVS. I think I was even telling Brother Roderick about this movie. It's called Devs.
Okay. And then we got another question on the screen. They said, what can we do to educate ourselves, our kids? I'm looking for factual resources on a budget. If you live
if I go a little over, brother, that's okay.
Okay. If y'all live in Texas, any of y'all, if you live in Texas, let me give you a nugget, a big nugget, a huge nugget. You can join his tribe. He's looking to build Texas.
Yes. You can join my tribe.
Yeah, or you can move to Texas and join the tribe.
We're only taking members in Texas right now. We got members all over the world. When we have our end of the year, we got people from Sweden that comes in. We got people from all over the world, Canada. But we noticed that we need more boots on the ground in Texas. So we have people in Dallas right now, San Antonio, and Houston. But we're based in Houston. So if you're a person in Texas and your mind is right, let me say that first. Go on my website, koeministries.org. You can read what we about. Get my tribology book before you join. You might want. It's only $25, y'all. $25, and y'all can see what we about. Then you'll know if you want to join or not. Some people have good intentions, but they got a messy life, or they have drama going on, and I can't take that, y'all. I put people out fast as they come in. You know what I'm saying? People have good intentions. They think it's beautiful. They want to join something, but you got to come with something. Don't be coming to me asking, what can you do for me, Brother Yesof? No, what can you do for the tribe? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People come to me and say, how can I benefit from joining the tribe? How can you? It's a lot you can benefit from. But I'm not going to say nothing. What can you do for the tribe so we can help each other?
You know, it's something that, and this me being transparent. I honestly know that when we started doing Truth versus Authority Community, you was and still is my guiding force in understanding not just tribology, but I'm gonna use it. I'm making my own word, communityology.
Okay, go for it, baby.
You know what I'm saying? So with communityology, and behind the scenes the stress that I have gone through in learning, making decisions, changing, trying, and it's getting better. And I get it. I had not did what you just protest just now. Hey, I don't want drama. You know what I'm saying? And I, at one point, was functioning. Maybe drama could be helped, but it's like I think people don't want that. That's for sure. It's like drama is normal. But I do say out loud that I appreciate every single fucking day that you say, hang in there, brother. It's tough. It's hanging there. And I got people around me come and go. Some come, they stay, they don't. They see change. They have no clue from the virtue of the seat that I sit in, and that I see everybody's stuff and understand what everybody, and I have to try to make decisions and movement to accommodate a group, right? And sometimes individuals get upset and don't understand. And I'm starting to realize now I got some great people like this person sitting over here. TK has just been down like 4 flat tires. You know what I'm saying? But with air, you know what I mean? And yourself and other people. And I'm starting to realize, but there are days that I wake up and be like, you know what? But yeah, pretty soon we have to put together our community guidelines.
Yes.
Yeah. And to function. And then there's people who think, well, I don't want to be part of no system. No, wait a minute. We can't get dumbfounded here. There has to be, I'm not going to use the word law and order, but there's got to be communion of operation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so, and so I do run a hybrid of business and community, but eventually, we may want our own property and other stuff and do things. Otherwise, we just going to be all packing our bags and being part of triology.
Yeah. And this is a trademark word, y'all. So tribology, tribe means family, y'all.
Yeah.
So ology is the study of. So the study of family is tribology. Family is business.
Yep.
So how can you not be ordered and structured? This is a business we're running. We're running a family business, family organization. And I see the question too. I'll get to the questions, but I just want to say this. So I'm very serious about what I'm doing because I put a lot of energy and people don't understand what leaders go through. And that's why we need people that got their stuff together and they can help, not just financially. We need people boots on the ground, help support the missions that we're trying to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want nobody money. Everybody in my tribe know that. I don't need no money. I'm good. I don't need nobody money, but I do respect the money and support for the tribe itself. You know what I'm saying? Who can help support, not just financially, but be here. I'd rather a person be here more than they give something financially. Be here and support us as we take care of our mission of spreading family. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're trying to do. So and so before anybody think about joining, please read Tribology. It's $25. You can get it on my website, nulifetools.org. But I saw someone here, if you don't mind me moving forward, brother.
Well, that's a question on the screen. I don't know if we answered that one yet.
Yeah, it was the one you said, how do we
No, it's a new one.
Okay.
It says
what you asked, and we kept talking, I forgot. Okay, go ahead. Which one you want to ask me about, brother?
There's one on the screen.
Oh, on the screen, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have been looking at videos about families who are mostly in Europe and train their children to do awful things and make offerings to deities who want blood or bodies for the offerings. What videos you find that at, fam? That's some very informational videos. But yeah, they're talking about the so-called Illuminati who, train their children to do all kind of stuff, take over a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what you're talking about, fam. So yeah, that's true.
If any of y'all got questions, put a Q in front of the comment, then I can put it on the screen. So it lets me know it's a question. Now, just be mindful if I skip yours and if you got 10 of them in a row, then, we're going to try to get to most people to kind of change it up. But here's another one I'm going to put on the screen because I only see one Q right now. You can go ahead and take that one, brother.
How can we protect ourselves from these monsters? Also, they said that they are beings, monsters that are underground that could come from the surface. So let me be very clear about this. It's all spiritual, y'all. Even these Draco reptilians, they are fourth dimensional beings. They're not 3D beings. They can't come to the surface. A lot of them.
Yep. A lot of people don't know that.
That's because of the dimension they're from, the frequency, they can't handle the frequency. And not just them, there's good beings that can't come to the surface. They have to come to the surface in ships or some type of suit. The frequency is different. When the frequency fully changes on our world, we become more fourth dimensional. They'll be able to walk right up here like anything else. Now, how do we protect ourselves from these beings? Check this out, family. It's crazy. All this Epstein file stuff is happening. It's crazy. Check this out. They said the cartel worshipped entities. Look how powerful the cartel is.
Yeah.
They worship these demons. They pray to these demonic. They literally kill people and offer sacrifice to these beings, and then they go attack their enemies. Think about what I just said. They're not sitting around thinking like the good force is going to try to stop us. No, they're praying to their gods. right? They're gods, and they're offering sacrifice to their gods to kind of get this thing going. So what are you doing? There's powerful, positive beings that we can pray to if that's what you want to do, that we could believe in, that can help us. And there are positive beings that can help us. So if they got the balls and the courage to pray to their gods, it's funny how positive people don't want to pray to nothing.
Yep.
But they always saying they need help. You see what I'm saying? I pray, y'all. Anybody who know me, and I'm a dope magician too. I can manifest whatever I want, facts. But I still give veneration to a higher force that's above me, that I know I can't control certain things on this planet. I can't stop the whole elite by myself, but there's beings that can. There's beings that can attack their gods. I want to work with those beings, those positive beings, and I still want to do my own reality.
Yeah.
So how do you do it? It's magic, but it's also lining yourself up with the right forces, so you can't be attacked. That's what that is, fam.
Yeah. First of all, there is someone that says, we'll answer this next, but is it time to use magic? Is what the title was. And they said they don't think we answer that tonight. I think we put a lot of things out that it would be, but we'll get to that specifically. But first of all, I want to thank each and every one of you who birthday that is in March like mine. Today is my birthday, March 10th. And pretty much, and so I just want to appreciate, I know somebody said their birthday was March 8th. If you're still here, if any of your birthdays in March, I'm gonna put my email up on the screen. I'm gonna send you a free shirt. Yeah, all right. So from Truth versus Authority, you'll get a shirt for your birthday. I just need to, and I like when I do this, Brother Yesof, because 10 people put their name up there and none of them will send the emails like they all would. Yeah, I want one. So it's like that makes me understand all these companies that get your money, like, some type of rebate. They probably make a gazillion dollars because nobody's claiming it, from there. But anyway, up here saying, I don't think it was answered. So is it time for us to use magic, or has it always been time? But let's just go with now.
Yes, I think, in my opinion, I think we have answered that question, but I don't mind continuing on it.
Yeah, I know. I thought we did too, but go ahead. Yeah.
We've been talking about how you need to use magic pretty much the whole show. You know what I'm saying? But yes, it is time to use magic, because what is magic, y'all? Y'all think it's about mixing some herbs together and stuff like that. Magic, and really, I'm more of a mystic, and I revealed that in the Buddha Force 2 lecture I did. I deal more with mysticism, but I'm a magician at the same time. So yes, it's time for magic, because what is magic? It is, to make it simple, it's a hacker. People who can do magic can hack into the matrix, and they can change into their reality, whatever they want. That's a fact. That's what magic can allow you to do. Problem is this: people only use magic when they want to get something. I need some money. They want to become a magician that day. I'm gonna do a ritual to get me some money. You know what I'm saying? My boyfriend messing with me, my girlfriend messing with me. I'm gonna do some magic instead of using it to help yourself in other ways. You see what I'm saying? To protect yourself more than anything else. So yes, it's time for it, because it's time for you to learn how to affect the frequencies of these beings so that you can protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this comes down to, because when you look at sigils, like me and Brother Roger did a class on sigils last year. When you look at sigils and all this, so you're dealing with technology. Just like they use technology, magic is nothing but technology, fam. It's technology you can use to fight them, the negative forces. So I would say that that's what it is, and yes, it's time for it.
Yeah. And now, where would they start if somebody just wanted to start? Or do you got any courses, basic courses that they can find? I know you do stuff in your Patreon. Where can they start?
So I always tell people, if you really want to learn magic, you want to start with a system of magic. You want to, because a system will take you down the rabbit hole, depending on where you need to go. Some people want to go dark immediately, or they want to go to something that they think is extreme. Some people want to be Kabbalist immediately, because you're trying to find the mysteries. What you need to do is learn what the elements are. And in my opinion, if you want to learn magic, you need to start Wicca. Wicca is a form of witchcraft, but it's a form of white witchcraft that will teach you the basics. That's where I started at, y'all. I started as a Wiccan. and it taught me the basics of magic, what the 5 elements can do. I did my Ulis. I worked on with the moon, and I saw it change in my life. I did no harm to nobody. I was just transforming my life. So as I started with Wicca, I went down all these different rabbit holes, but I understood it gave me a good foundation. So I would say get into that and then let that take you where you need to go. Some people go different ways after that. Or some people stay Wiccans, you know?
There's a question up, but then there's also, I'm going to read this one without putting it up, but I think it may be something for you. It says, the username is 316 Shaman. He says, I'm from San Antonio, Brother Yesof. I'm an Aztec, and I have infiltrated the bad wizards of the land, and I'm a father, and I think I will be a great fit for your tribe. I left, and I was invited back through a portal or something, so I don't have the rest. But anyway, that's what he said. All right. Q, the question is, what's the difference between a talisman and a spiritual weapon?
A talisman is just a tool that has been endowed with magical power. It could be used to protect you. It could be used to bring money to you. It could be used for luck. You know what I'm saying? And what was the other thing he said?
Spiritual weapon. He said what he wanted to know. What's the difference between a talisman and a spiritual weapon?
So that's what a talisman is. Like, this is a talisman. It brings divine energy to me. But a spiritual weapon is exactly what you call it. Something that's used to fight spiritually. That's what a spiritual weapon is. A talisman is not really for that. Could you make one for that? Maybe. But talismans are usually used to just put magical energy into and bring you luck or protect you or something like that.
Okay. Let's see. Someone else had Q above. He said, I would like to have a conversation about El Gua and the time travel capacity that was shown in the movie Interstellar.
That sounds like an incredible conversation. He's talking about the Gadi Legua. And that's a very beautiful.
Well, look, I'm butchering words tonight, talisman and Alexandra. But listen, let me go and give my disclaimer. Everybody know, if you watch enough of my shows, I got a grammar box, virtual grammar box over here, and a virtual letter box. The grammar box means that you can go in there. If I mispronounce and butcher anything, you go up there and get it. Now, here's how I'm gonna give you a quick test. Banana. Now, if you heard banana, even though I said banana and messed it up, then your consciousness is working properly. So that your ego will step in if you want to correct it. You know, he said it wrong. But if you understand it, then your consciousness is working. If you see me misspell something, I got unlimited letters in this virtual spelling box. You can go in there and get many as you want, change it up and everything else. So that's my disclaimer. All right, but go ahead.
I'll show you, and I misread words all the time, y'all. I be like, man, how in the world did I get through school? You know, so yes, but yeah, I believe that's what you're talking about, the Gadi Legua, and I don't understand the question though. You say you want to talk about the Gadi Legua. Do you want me to talk about it? You say you want to have a conversation. And
time travel capacity that was shown in the movie. Obviously, this came up in the movie Interstellar. Yeah,
and that movie was incredible. Everybody needs to see it. They went through a whole part of the fourth dimension where he was stuck in the time, and he saw different variations of time. I'm not sure if you want me to merge those two together, but if you say I don't understand, like you want a conversation, like I don't understand the question, but. Interstellar was a great movie. Everybody needs to watch it, and it did have some great concepts and ideas about how time is looked at. It does deal with the guy literally got trapped in the fourth dimension. It was incredible. So everybody should watch that movie.
All right. Someone want to know what's the talisman you wearing?
This talisman is a 72-letter name of God. Very powerful. Anything you put the 72-letter name of God on becomes empowered with the power of God. And it's put on here clockwise. And this is something that is 3D printed. If you see the back of it is gray, it's actually iron, made from iron. And it's 3D printed. And I wear it. It's very powerful. And these are wooden beads. So I wear this to protect myself and to empower myself.
All right. So this is on me here. Someone says, Exposed to Truth ET is their username, and then says, how can someone take you guys serious? This is ridiculous.
I would say don't take us serious. Don't.
Let me handle this one. I want to do this. I'm petty. I'm very petty.
Okay.
And even with the username exposed to truth, and I'm not going to say it's ET for extraterrestrial. It's got to be entertainment because they got to be off their rocker.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? And anything else. And so, but my guess is nobody takes them seriously because this conversation that we're having is probably as relevant as it can get. We went off on the deep end nowhere other than what you can't see or the unseen, but is happening in people's faces. I love it when people hide behind usernames and they can see us. They know who we are. They know our websites. They know our whatever. Now, I would rather for that person or anyone in the future, put your name, hey, my name is John Davenport in Texas. And I have if you want to say something critical, do that. Put your name out there. They won't do that, right? And it's funny. And so if they got the courage to hide behind that, then I'll tell that person, come on, man, you ridiculous yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to stand for something, stand up for it, and pretty much. And so that's how I like to handle that. All right. So we got some more questions. You can handle more questions. They're coming in now, the queues.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Here's another one that says, what is the 72-letter name of God?
So the 72 name of God is a code. It's dealing with the Hebrew letters.
Mm-hmm.
The 42 name of God, once you put it on something, it brings down the power of God. 72 name of God is a code that once you put it on something, it's imbued immediately with the power of God. So one formula, let's call it a formula, Hebrew formula, it brings the power of God. One of them creates the power of God immediately. And that's what the 72 name of God is. It's a code. It's a formula, magical formula. It's also a prayer.
All right. So someone else says, can you speak on the importance of collectibles and physical media? You talk about this a lot in the Patreon. I think people can benefit from it.
Yeah. So people don't know I am a collector. I collect a lot of stuff. You name it. And I've been telling people they need to get into collecting because these are going to be some things of value in the future when we need to barter and trade, when you need resources. And you want to own some resources because everything is going to be digitized, family. Everything, your baseball cards, all the stuff you collect, it's going to be what they call an NFT. Your mortgage statements are going to be NFTs. You're not going to get bills, and the post office is running on borrowed time. Post office will not be around in the future. They ain't going to need it. Everything will be digitized. So at the end, in the future, so we need to understand it's a good, in my opinion, not to tell you guys what to do, but you should become a collector. Especially collecting minerals right now will be a great idea.
Yeah, I think it's let's see. Question says, how will we flow of time change when we enter the 4D? And right now, time feels like it's going fast. Would it change when we shift into a high density, or will time become a non-factor? And time has already probably been a non-factor anyway, right? We don't even want to do that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just man-made. It will become more of a non-factor once you're in it because it'll be like when you're dreaming. When everybody on the planet is in that point where you don't know whether you're dreaming or you're having a dream, that's when you'll be in the fourth dimension. You know what I'm saying? Because there'll be like you can just do what you want. This is why right now you could think about a person and that person will call you. Like, man, I was just thinking about you. You called me. Or you'll be walking to the store and you walk around the corner, the person's at the store. That's because we're merging into the fourth dimension where you think about what you want in your dreams and you just go there. So we're merging more with that frequency. And this is why I know so-called ETs and monsters, whatever people call it, these things will become more prevalent on the planet. And they know this is happening because the gateways are open, the frequencies are changing. And with that being said, you're going to need to know some type of spiritual protection to protect yourself. But they're going to use AI to make you think everything is fake when it's happening. So keep that in mind, family. AI is going to be used as a tool against you to make your brain think, oh, everything's AI. And only fools are going to believe that in the future.
Yeah, I think it's the false flag that we've been talking about in ufology for quite some time, but it's looking a little different. than a holographic false flag where, you know, they can show spacecrafts in the sky, basically when it can come right into your reality, right? And so it's important, I think, that people begin. And, you know, if anybody ever watched me, my saying, my trademark saying that is registered is, your eyes are useless when your mind is blind. And I tell people that all the time, because I don't care what you see, if your mind is not right, and they know that, and this is where they're attacking the mind, but also deliberately, visually right now affecting the eyes. So they're going in reverse because they always invert things. So if they can get you to begin to accept the illusions as reality at some point, then when the reality hits you, it's just going to walk right by you, but it's going to walk up on you. And that's what they're preparing for.
Shay, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think if y'all got any more questions, y'all want to put it up now. We'll go as long as we get them, but
I can answer one more question before I go.
Okay, yeah, because you know he looks like he got
a good one.
He got some meat and potatoes out there waiting. So yeah, and someone said they love to see us both together. And
yeah, come on to the event in Dallas. Buy a ticket. Come on down.
Yeah, come on and sit down and live and touch and feel. You know, just what's up, because it ain't gonna be AI. That's for sure.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, it's not going to be AI and everything else. So I just think it's pretty much. But once again, for each and every one of you, this is Brother Yesof. His link is in the description. Nu Lyfe Tools. The website is there. Also, the link to watch Yaya and all of us, me and her, our conversation, uncensored. And again, if y'all don't know who she is, I think I may got a clip to just kind of show you who she is or something, and then you'll kind of know, yeah, here's something. You'll just hear her voice and you'll know.
Eve found the serpent more trustworthy than God, not because of his credentials, but because the serpent said what Eve wanted to hear. A lot of people going to read this and interpret it exactly how they want to, just as I did. I know I'm here to give you the esoteric breakdown. Eve didn't trust.
So she's going to do a lot of esoteric breakdown conversation that we're going to be doing right there, sitting in a room that we got designed. And then, but again, if you can get to Enter Truth, hit the live stream version, and so that you can watch it live, uncensored. Like I say, please, I'm telling you up front, you know, I know some of you children are really awake and they really are before their time, but we're going to be saying some things unfiltered. And we may be talking about how they're doing some of these babies and different stuff, because we're going deep in a bunch of conversations. So I'm just giving a forewarning that, but if you are the parent though, you know your kids, if they've been hearing curse words all their lives and been around chaos, then okay, but we're not trying to be chaotic. We're just going to expose the chaos. Right. And so hopefully you all can kind of get from there. Is there any last words that you want to say to anyone?
Just understand, y'all, tonight I'm not trying to prove nothing to y'all. I'm just trying to let y'all know, you know what I'm saying, you might want to open your mind up and explore. There's more to the world than what you think. Some amazing, exciting things to the world. So, you know, get into the spiritual realm and let it take your mind where it needs to go. You know what I'm saying? Because by nature, you're more of a spiritual being than you are a physical being. If you're a Christian, the Bible said, before you was born in your mother's womb, I knew you. Mm-hmm. That means you was a spirit before you was ever a physical being. You know what I'm saying? So there are things here, you know, that we can do to expand our intelligence and help us understand who these people are on the planet, because this is the stuff they use, and they use. Magic is like a gun. You can use it to hurt somebody, or you can use it to help somebody, to defend yourself, to protect your family. It's whatever. So let's think about it like that, family. But either way, I want to tell you guys, thank you guys for coming on tonight. And I will be in Dallas supporting the brother Roderick. We're going to have a good time. If you want to have a deeper conversation face-to-face about this stuff, come on down. We could talk. You know what I'm saying? We can have a conversation. But whoever can come out and support brother Roderick, and, you know, y'all buy y'all ticket and y'all come on out. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a good time. I had a good time the last time I was up there. Beautiful facility, by the way. You guys got to come see it for yourself. Beautiful facility.
Yep.
Beautiful area. You know what I'm saying? Come on down, family. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a really good time. So.
Y'all come on down, and brother, I will talk to you. I appreciate you. I'll reach out to you in the morning, brother. Peace and blessings.
Thank you. All right, you guys have a good one. Peace.
All right. So that's my brother Yesof, and Yaya is going to be. We're going to do a live stream with her coming up this week. Is stuff too. Again, we're just bringing stuff into fruition of what we've been working on for quite some time, and pretty much, this year, like I said, it's just been a true blessing to be able to serve and be a servant leader, in spite of all the challenges and misdirects and changes and everything else. And I'll be the first to admit it. But I will say that, with my weapon of choice here, and it has a name, Aegis of Aletheia, and it has a lot of purposes, but it's also my scepter of power. And I would encourage any of you to find your weapon of choice, and you put the power into it, because we are in that magic world. And I wouldn't have ever even had these conversations quite some time ago, because that'd have been the first thing come out of my mouth, like, magic, because you're thinking about it in a more of a negative way, okay, versus the reality of life and where we are and stuff. So I encourage everyone to study, begin, but we're gonna talk about a lot of those things if you want to kind of do that as well. So anyway, happy birthday to all of you March Pisces. I'm going to use Pisces people as myself. And today, I am 25 times 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 2. And so, put your math hat on and you can add all of that up. But overall, it's a master number 11. And this is the year of breakthrough and everything else. So with that being said, I love you. I love each and every one of you. If you have not heard the words, I love you this weekend, in a more of an intimate way. I love you. And you are a great person. You're not bad. You're not what anybody think of you. You're a good person. Sometimes we just got to make different decisions. But again, I love each and every one of you. For those who's going to be watching this later, I would love for you all to write "I love you all" in the chat. And that way other people who come late will see and get the love and energy. And for those who are watching this and you want to comment after this, put "I love you all" in the comments of the video afterwards. And we can kind of do just that. And so with that being said, it's been an A-plum, pleasing pleasure, as well as a privilege serving you tonight. And I can't wait to see some of you who, even if you're not coming to the event and you can't, just come on after and crash the birthday party with us, a little bit. You're invited, we'll have some snacks for our VIP people though. So I just want, put your own snacks in your pocket, and all those stuff. And we would do that. But anyway, I love each and every one of you. And hopefully once again, you're not getting that parrot love, I love you back. Love you. But you're getting some real intimate love. And so I'm gonna give a hug to all of you who doesn't have a hug, and slap for my brothers. But I do hug my brothers too, so we do it. All right. Somebody said, Rack said, I'm going to bring the snacks. Bring the snacks then. I appreciate it. And happy birthday. May you have many long, healthy, prosperous birthday from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Thank you, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and everyone else. All right. Love y'all. Peace out.
UFOs. UAPs. Unidentified anomalous phenomena.
Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Who are they? Where are they from? And what is their intent?
All questions that immediately come to mind with the mention of UFOs. A Pentagon report is detailing a dramatic increase in UFO sightings, more than 350 since 2021. Many of them are explained as being drones, birds, or weather events, but about half of them remain unexplained.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
this video taken by the Navy showing what he describes as pyramid-shaped UFOs flying over the USS Russell off the San Diego coast in July of 2019. The Pentagon has since confirmed that the video is authentic.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection. Late this afternoon, a bulletin from New Mexico suggested that the widely publicized mystery of the flying saucers may soon be solved. Army Air Force officers reported that one of the strange discs had been found and inspected sometime last week. Our correspondents in Los Angeles and Chicago have been in contact with Army officials endeavoring to obtain all possible late information. Joe Wilson reports to us now from Chicago. The Army may be getting to the bottom of all this talk about the so-called flying saucers. As a matter of fact, the 509th Atomic Bomb Group headquarters at Roswell, New Mexico, reports that it has received one of the discs which landed on a ranch outside Roswell. The disc landed at a ranch at Corona, New Mexico, and the rancher turned it over to the Air Force. Rancher W.W. Brazil is the man who discovered the saucer.
There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are.
More people are coming forward with their own sightings.
Videos recorded by U.S. Navy personnel have added a new layer of evidence to the current national debate about UFOs.
Right at that moment, I saw what looked like 5 lights flying in formation in kind of an inverted check mark.
The NASA independent study team did not find any evidence that UAP have an extraterrestrial origin. We don't know what these UAP are.
The mysterious flying objects are still a mystery. NASA will continue investigating them and has appointed a director of UAP research.
Technology that we faced was far superior than anything that we had.
Let's try.